let's talk about your tools, because when you get to the next part of it, we'll talk about in a few minutes, of actually sitting down and having a meeting or a Zoom call with either a bank or a investor or a partner, you're going to need something to talk about, right? Like, you're going to need something to tell them. And you're going to be your business plan and your financial pro forma. So I want to spend a few minutes talking about these things, because I cannot overemphasize how important these two things are, especially when you were new. And like for me, when I was first doing this and raising money, I was super nervous, to be totally honest with you. I was super nervous for the first, like maybe the first three investor presentations I did. And then I went from super nervous to like moderately nervous, right? And now it's like, okay, no big deal. But it is totally okay to stumble over your words and be super nervous. It's going to be okay. So it really goes back to, don't let fear overcome your dreams, right? Like, consider, what is your why, right? Laura and I, our girls are our why. We want to have time freedom. We want to be at every single game. We want to be there and travel with them and do all those things, right? That was our why. We did not want to work for the man. We did not want to work a crazy amount of hours. Think about that. Like, what is your why? When you get uncomfortable and nervous and saying, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to post it. I'm not going to ask people. Come back to the why, right? It's so vital. When you actually have these meetings, you're going to need some preparation, some tools. And for me, they were super vital, like I said, because I was so nervous the first couple times, that I would actually use this as like my shield. I literally felt like it was like a shield to me, because it protected me from looking stupid, right? And I'm not afraid to admit that I can look pretty stupid sometimes. So I would sit there and I would be like, okay, here's my presentation, and I really would kind of just space, right? I'm like, what do I say? And I'm like, okay, cool. I got a business plan in front of me. And I put these little tabs, and you can see, actually in this photo, the white one there, you can see the little tabs on it. So I did it on both of these. And I literally just tried to set myself up for success. And I'm like, okay, when I blank out and don't know what to say next, I'm just going to grab the next tab and I'm going to flip to the page and I'm going to talk about that, right? So I think it's so vital that you have your business plan and your pro forma. So let me spend a few minutes or a little bit more time talking about what goes into these things. And sometimes these two tools are together. And I specifically do not like that. I like to keep them separate. And I'll unpack why. But your business plan, you can start with literally right now, today, where your financial pro forma, those are all your numbers. And those are really going to evolve and change as your deal kind of unfolds. So I don't want to have one thing that is like solid and then one thing that's ever changing, because it puts an excuse in my mind that I'm not ready to have a conversation because, oh, this tool is not ready yet. I'm waiting for some numbers to come back. I don't know yet. So I'm just not going to finish it, right? Like, that's just an excuse. And so I separated these things really to work against my human nature of being nervous about these presentations. So I separated them because I can get a first draft done of my business plan and I'm pretty good. I'm ready to go, because I really don't have to have anything specific in there. And that's really what I want to emphasize to you. As you're putting this together, when you're going through it, you just need to identify a few things. Okay, what you're going to do, right? We're on a call talking about raising money for an assisted living. So my guess is you're going to open an assisted living, right? You know where you want to open it. It's not going to be across the country. It's probably in the state that you're in. It's probably going to be within 30 or 60 minutes of you, right? So you'd be like, okay, I know it's going to be in either this county or this county or this county, right? Like, it's going to be in this area, right? I live north of Austin. So if I'm going to do this, I'm going to say, hey, what I'm doing, my business plan is I'm going to open an assisted living, and it's going to be in the greater Austin area. When we got to Texas, we didn't know where it was going to be. We knew it wasn't going to be in Dallas. We knew it was going to be somewhere in Austin. I didn't know if it was going to be in South Austin, West Austin, North Austin. I had no idea. But I still made a business plan before that. And I just said the greater Austin area. So really what I'm trying to tell you is you don't have to have every little detail for this business plan. You can kind of make it a rough draft. And I would encourage you to do that, because you know what it means? It means you're taking action. And really, you need to fail 100 times. I'll probably say it a couple times tonight. If you have failed 100 times, then you will succeed. If you've only failed 50 times, you've not failed enough yet. So your business plan, right? You know what you're going to do, and you're going to kind of just talk about what makes you special. Okay, everything about you is unique from me, right? There's something about you that is different, right? Laura is totally different than me. She literally loves people. She wants to talk to people. She wants to love on people. She wants to care for people, right? Which is, I love people, but I love people in a different way than she does. And I'm more of a numbers guy, and I'm pretty intense. So, I'm going to craft mine different than you're going to craft yours. And so if you have a unique experience, like you're a nurse, or you had an experience like placing your mom, right? You can put these things in there because it's not about the numbers. None of these things are going to be about numbers. There's going to be stuff on there like national statistics, baby boomer statistics. You can look up general statistics on your state and your city or your county. A lot of those things are going to be in there. But what's not in there is things that you have to wait on. You don't have to wait on anything. So for me, honestly, I spent about $2,500, and I found someone on like Upwork or Fiverr, I'm not sure, to build my first business plan for me. So I found someone who had experience writing these for this niche. She was very, very knowledgeable on this. So I would encourage you not to spend like $500 on one. There are people who will give you something for $500. The tools are so vital for this. So you got to really look like you have everything dialed in. Okay, the second tool is your financial performa. So it's really just all your numbers put into an Excel calculator with a bunch of different pages that are all fancy looking. And again, I had that same person build out that financial calculator for me the first time. And you can start really simple with this thing. But really the gist of it is, okay, here is my income, right? My top line, I'm gonna bring in this many grandmas. They're gonna pay me this much rent. Here's an itemized list of all my expenses. I'm gonna have my rent, my mortgage, my utilities, my labor, all of those things, right? There's probably so many things that you don't know. If you're not in the business, there's probably a lot of things you wouldn't know how to put there. So I would encourage you to get some help or some coaching with that aspect. And then the bottom line is, here's my profit, right? When will I break even? How many grandmas do I need to break even? What's my staffing gonna be like? Am I bringing in a manager? What's my worst case scenario? What's my starting price? If I'm projecting to open in 6 months or 12 months, what do I think I can fill my beds for then? What is it gonna look like a year from now, 2 years from now, right? What is it gonna look like if COVID happens? Because that sucked. So all of these things go into this financial performa, and really it's your second tool you're gonna put together. I would encourage you to, again, take action, and if you don't have those numbers put together yet, then just skip it and come back to it. You will for sure need it. It is super vital, but I don't want you to stop taking action because you don't have it ready yet. You can get some loose numbers together, or again, find someone local who is an expert in that area who can help you with these kind of things.